Hey guys, Classic here, and today I want to talk about a very specific topic that plagues almost every player of competitive games: tilting. I really think that knowing what causes tilt and to realize when you tilt is the first key part to actually stop tilting, or at least find solutions that will help you manage it. In today's video, we'll talk about what causes tilt, what tricks can you use to actually prevent yourself from tilting, or how to prevent others from tilting you. Hopefully, all of that helps you rank up faster in the game that you play. Like I said, I think understanding it and understanding what causes it is the best way to actually prevent it or deal with it. I think there are at least 4 major causes of tilt, and they're fairly simple to understand. The first one is lack of control. Lack of control of teammates, or sometimes lack of control about the specific game. Here you can read lag. Yes, lag can cause tilt. Lack of control is actually one of the things that we humans are really bad at dealing with. We do not like not being in control, and unfortunately when you play video games, especially team games like Rocket League, Counter-Strike, League of Legends, you need to rely on teammates. You also need to rely on your controller, you also need to rely on your internet connection. Those can all be causes of tilting. Then, strongly tied to that is being let down. Being let down either by teammates not reaching the expectations you've set for them, or letting yourself down, which in some cases, for me, is even worse than being let down by your teammate. Missing easy shots is never easy for the ego. Then you can have direct personal attacks. That doesn't affect everyone, but getting flamed in a game is actually an easy trigger most of the time. Usually when you play bad, you goddamn well know you're playing bad, and having that put in your face is really not the thing you need when you're not playing well. The last thing is feeling that your efforts are pointless, or having a lack of progression, or feeling that all that you're doing is just not resulting in anything. I'm not saying that these are all the causes for tilting, but I think those are the major ones by far. And if none of these situations actually rings a bell to you, then I'm impressed, and leave in the comments what you get tilted by. Because for me, I've got tilted at least once by each of those things. And now I'm gonna try to explain to you how you can either deal with it once you're tilted, because it's almost impossible to just never get tilted. We all have bad days. Some days we're more tired than others. It's okay to be tilted from time to time, but it's not okay to lash out at teammates. It's not okay to break stuff around you. Knowing how to deal with it is actually crucial, especially later in your career. If you want to go pro, no one wants to team with a rager. That's just facts. You don't want someone in your team that's gonna break everything every time you're gonna lose. Absolutely not. You want to play with composed players. Knowing how to deal with it is extremely important. Alright, so how do you deal with lack of control? Well, first of all, I think just accepting it is the first step. Knowing that you can't control teammates and that they will do mistakes will help you at actually identifying when they're letting you down, when you cannot control them, and talking to yourself. It's okay. They messed up. I mess up all the time. It's okay. Because I've seen a lot of players around like silver, gold, and that's good for every game, that say, oh my god, my teammates are garbage. It's not fun. They make plenty of mistakes. I can't wait to be higher ranked. Well, I have bad news for you, because even if you get higher ranked, you will still get teammates that will make mistakes. Even pros make mistakes. That happens all the time. The sooner you learn to deal with it, the better it is. And I'm not saying never be pissed or never blame anything, but try to be conscious when you do that, because we all do. We all do. After that, you can try to look at solutions. So, first of all, lack of control of teammates. Maybe solo queuing is not for you. Maybe you need to find an actual teammate that you're gonna queue with most of the time in voice comms and talk to each other. If you're anything like me, I get way less tilted when I play with a friend. I don't know why, but the same mistake caused by a friend or by a random player I'm actually not gonna deal with it the same way. Second of all, if you can, try to deal with the technical issues around you. If you don't have a reliable internet connection and your goal is to become a professional player, well, you need to try to do everything in your control, actually resolve that issue. Actually upgrade your internet if you need to. I know it's not always possible and it's easier said than done, but it's really something that you need to think about. What can you change around you that's gonna help? Controller's broken? Change it. Your internet connection is crap? Talk to your parents about it. Or if you live on your own, just try to put a bit more money on that side. If you try to upgrade, that's gonna help you, that's gonna reduce tilt. Obviously, no one likes to get disconnected, especially if you were gonna win. We touched a bit about how to deal when your teammates let you down. But what about when you let yourself down? How can you deal with that? Well, the first thing that I can say, and I said it in my 5 mental tips to how to rank up, is take some breaks. It's okay to play bad. We all do. We have bad days. Letting yourself down, for me, is really the hardest part. When I miss shots that I know I should be hitting, I get tilted. So, what do? Do I keep playing ranked and keep missing more and more and get tilted more and more? Hell no! I'm either gonna take a break, or if I'm streaming, then I'm actually gonna go in training for a while, or free play. Something that can actually reduce the tension, because I'm not gonna be in a game, I'm not gonna be as stressed. I'm gonna be able to hang out with chat and practice my mechanics at the same time. So it's kind of like killing 2 birds with 1 stone, because not only are you relaxing, you're also practicing the things that you're letting yourself down. Let's say you didn't land that double touch in that game and you feel pissed. Well, just go in training and practice double touches for a couple of minutes. Not only will that make you more relaxed, and also the next time you have a double touch, but well, you've practiced a bit more, so you're that more likely to actually land it. Now, the third one was personal attacks. If that happens in a game with randoms, mute them. I've seen people defend the mute button countless times, and I honestly cannot understand. Just mute them. Just mute them. Who cares? There's absolutely nothing that's gonna be said in chat that's gonna be better than you just not tilting. That's never gonna be better than just you keeping your head focused in the game. I cannot count how many times I've won a game by muting everyone in the game and just getting my head in it, not focusing about anything else, and actually making the comeback, ignoring forfeit votes and all that jazz. Just focus on what you can do as best as you can do. Sometimes you will still lose, and that's okay. At least you can be proud that you have not tilted, or at least that you try to deal with it the best way possible. Hell, just a fun fact, yesterday I was playing League of Legends and it literally took 34 seconds for me to mute a teammate. 34 seconds, that was a world record. But don't be afraid, who cares, just mute them, they're not gonna help you. I've seen also people ask me, but what if it's a teammate, what if it's a friend? Well, if a friend is really mean to you or toxic to you, you have 2 choices. Either you say nothing and you simply tank it and you have a bad team atmosphere, or you talk to him about it. The first step, you talk to them, you tell them, you try to make them realize that it's not cool. You're there to play a game, you don't want to be flamed, it's helping literally no one. If they don't want to change, you either kick them from the team or you find yourself another team. I know it's not easy, but you have to do that if you want to succeed, if you want to actually have a good atmosphere. I had to stop playing with real life friends in some games because they were just too ragey. I told them first, I said, dude, can you stop raging? Otherwise I'm gonna have to stop playing with you. There's no way I'm dealing with that. It's not my problem if you cannot actually deal with your anger. And in some cases, they did not change. I had to stop playing with them. And is it sad? Is it really awkward? Yes, it is. But you kind of have to deal with it. Unfortunately, there's no better solution than just trying to talk to them, and if they don't change, take action. The last part is not feeling progression. How do you deal with that? Well, the first part is, are you objectively making no progression? Maybe you're not making MMR progression, maybe your rank is not going up, but are you getting better? Sometimes yes, you can go a whole week and not rank up while still actually improving yourself. Maybe you scored a nice shot that you wouldn't have a month ago. You need to take note of these little good plays that you know you're actually improving in those sorts to try to keep a positive mindset. Not everything has to be MMR climbing. It's okay if your rank is stale. As long as you improve as a player, eventually the rank will follow. You should chase being good and the rank will follow, not chase that rank and eventually you think you'll improve. It's really important to just change your mindset. Focus on learning the game and getting the best player that you can be, and eventually the rank will just follow. It's just natural. Rank are consequences of you being good, not the other way around. Lastly, I simply want to say that being tilted happens. When that happens, take a break. Really do. Go for a walk, play another game. Just stop playing that game. Otherwise, you're gonna tank like crazy. I've had a viewer this week that actually lost 24 games in a row and uninstalled the game. That's just way too much. You gotta stop the bleeding way sooner. Take some breaks. I know it's hard when you're actually in it, but if you lost 3 games in a row and you sense the boiling rage inside, take a break, go take a walk, play another game, or simply put the game down for the whole day and you'll come back tomorrow. You are not forced to play for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. It's okay to take your time. It is not a race. And more often than not, playing 8 hours a day is actually not the most productive way to become a great player. Playing more and more and more is not always the solution. You have to think bigger. I'm gonna probably go deeper about what you can do except playing a shit ton to improve, you know? There's a lot of things that come around that, and I really want to help you. If you're struggling with anything about ranking up, I would love you if you could tell me in the YouTube comments. I want to help you. Is it motivation? Is it knowledge? Is it time? Is it simply not knowing what to do? Tell me, and I'm gonna do my best to help you. I hope this vid provided value to you, and until then, I will see you Monday for the Casual Talk with Garrett G.